Law Clerk Handbook, a handbook for law clerks to federal judges. Second edition. Edited by Sylvan A. Sobel, Federal Judicial Center. 2007. This Federal Judicial Center publication was undertaken in furtherance of the Center's statutory mission to develop and conduct education programs for judicial branch employees. The views expressed are those of the authors and not necessarily those of the Federal Judicial Center. Blank pages included to preserve pagination for double-sided printing. E. Contents. Preface X Chapter 1. Introduction 1 Section 1 to 1. Function and Role of Law Clerks 1 Section 1 to 2. Preparation and Reference Material 1 Section 1 to 3. Orientation and Continuing Education 3. Chapter 2. Conduct, Ethics, and Protocol 5. Section 2 to 1. Conduct and Ethics 5. Section 2 to 2. Protocol 6. A. Confidentiality and Loyalty 6. 1. Communication with the media 7 2. Communication with attorneys 8b. Respect 9c. Courtroom demeanor 10d. Dress 10e. The public 10. Chapter 3. Overview of litigation conducted in U.S. Courts 11. Section 3 to 1. The Civil Action 11. A. Federal Jurisdiction 11b. Litigation Process 11c. Commencement of Action 12d. Service of Summons and Complaint. Waiver of Service 13e. Early Pretrial Conference 14f. Multi-District Litigation Problems 15g. Motion Practice Before Answer 16h. Opinions on Motions Under Submission 18i. Temporary Restraining Orders 18j. The Answer 19k. Alternative Dispute Resolution 19. 1. Arbitration 22. Mediation 23. Early Neutral Evaluation 24. Non-binding Summary Jury Trial 21-5. Minitrial 21-6. Settlement Weeks 21-7. Case Evaluation 21. IV Law Clerk Handbook. L. Dormant Actions 21M. Motion Practice After Answer 22-1. Discovery Motions and Schedules 22-2. Motions for Summary Judgment and Amended Pleadings 23N. Final Pretrial Conference 24-0. Pretrial Orders 24P. Sanctions 25Q. Trial 25R. Post-Trial Motions and Enforcement of Judgments 26S. Appeals from Decisions of Administrative Agencies 27. Section 3 to 2. The Criminal Action 27. A. Proceedings before a Magistrate Judge 28b. Indictment 29c. Arraignment and Plea 29d. The Speedy Trial Act 30e. Pretrial Motions 31f. Discovery and Pretrial Hearing 31g. Trial and Post-Trial Detention 32h. Sentencing 32. 1. Sources 32-2. Sentencing Procedures 34-3. Appellate Review 35-4. Role of Law Clerks 36i. Post-Trial Motions 37j. Handling Prisoner Petitions 37. Section 3 to 3. Bankruptcy Proceedings 38. A. General Structure and Jurisdiction 38b. Authority of the Bankruptcy Judge. Core versus Non-Core. Jury Trials 39c. Relationship to Other Courts 40d. Appeals 40e. Chapters of the Bankruptcy Code 41f. Bankruptcy Procedure 43. 1. Rules and Forms 43-2. Applications and Motions 43-3. Contested Matters and Adversary Proceedings 44g. U.S. Trustees and Private Trustees 45. V. Contents. Section 3 to 4. Appeals 46. A. Processing Appeals 46b. Notice of Appeal 47c. Record Preparation 48d. Docketing the Appeal 49e. Briefs and Joint Appendix 49f. Oral Argument 50g. Deliberation 51h. Opinion and Judgment 52i. Rehearing 52j. Mandate 53k. Motions 53l. Emergency Proceedings 54. Section 3 to 5. Courts of Specialized Jurisdiction 54. A. Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit 55b. Court of International Trade 55C. Judicial Panel on Multidistrict Litigation 55D. Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court 55. Section 3 to 6. Article 1 Courts 56. A. U.S. Tax Court 56B. U.S. Court of Federal Claims 56C. U.S. Court of Appeals for the Armed Forces 56D. U.S. Court of Appeals for Veterans Claims 56. Chapter 4. Chambers and Case Management 57. Section 4 to 1. Chambers Administration 57. A. Security 57B. Telephone 59C. Correspondence, email, and other mail 59D. Internet and Electronic Research 61E. Electronic Filing 62F. Judges Chambers Calendar 63G. Opening Court 63H. Maintaining the Library, Office Supplies, Equipment, and Furniture 63I. Maintaining Office Records and Files 64J. Statistical Reporting 65K. Out-of-Town Trips 65L. Assisting with Judges Extrajudicial Activities 66. V. Law Clerk Handbook, M. Preserving Chambers Papers for Historical Purposes 66N. Rules regarding the media in Court 67. Section 4 to 2. Local Court Rules and Administrative Policies 67 Section 4 to 3. Case Management. The Trial Court 68. A. Office Status Sheets 69B. Calendaring Systems 70C. Trial Scheduling 70D. Jury Management 71. 1. Random Juror Selection 71 2. Exemptions, Disqualifications, and Excuses 72 3. Juror Orientation 73 4. Voir dire 73 5. Jury Supervision 74E. Distributing Opinions 75. Section 4 to 4. Special Duties of Law Clerks to Bankruptcy Judges 75. Section 4 to 5. U.S. Magistrate Judges 76. A. Initial Proceedings in Criminal Cases 76B. References of Pretrial Matters from District Judges 77C. Disposition of Petty Offense and Class A Misdemeanor Cases 77D. Disposition of Civil Cases 78E. Additional Duties 78. Section 4 to 6. Case Management. The Appellate Court 79. A. Motions 79B. Screening 79C. Order of Assignment of Appeals for Oral Argument. Calendar Preparation 80D. Order of Opinion Writing 81E. Distributing Opinions 81. Chapter 5. Legal Research and Writing 83. Section 5 to 1. Research 83. A. Current Advance Sheet and Slip Sheet Reading 85. Section 5 to 2. Writing 86. A. General Rules 86B. Editing 88C. Style 88D. Specific Writing Assignments 89. 1. Jury Instructions 89. V. Contents. 2. Memoranda of Law or Fact 90. A. Bench Memorandum 90B. Statement of Facts 91C. Single Issue Memorandum 92D. Full Case Memorandum 92-3. Resolution of Motions in Trial Courts 92-4. Memos for Criminal Motions 94-5. Findings of Fact and Conclusions of Law 94-6. District Court Orders 95-7. Opinions 96E. Correspondence 98. 1. Official Business Envelopes 102. Juror Letters 100F. Suggested Reference Material 100. Section 5 to 3. Proofreading and Checking of Citations 101. A. Checking an Opinion 101B. Final Proofreading 102. Chapter 6. Court Governance and Administration 103. Section 6 to 1. Overview of Federal Judicial Administration 103. Section 6 to 2. Chief Justice of the United States 103. Section 6 to 3. Judicial Conference of the United States 103. Section 6 to 4. Circuit Judicial Councils and Circuit Executives 105. Section 6 to 5. Chief Judges 105. A. Courts of Appeals 106b. District Courts 106c. Bankruptcy Courts 107. Section 6 to 6. Circuit Judicial Conferences 107. Section 6 to 7. Federal Agencies of Judicial Administration 107. A. Administrative Office of the U.S. Courts 107b. Federal Judicial Center 108c. United States Sentencing Commission 108. Section 6 to 8. Active and Senior Judges. Retirement 109. Section 6 to 9. Budget Appropriations and Administration 109. Chapter 7. Relations with Other Court and Justice System Personnel 111. Section 7 to 1. Circuit Executive 111. Section 7 to 2. Clerk of Court Court of Appeals 111. V. Law Clerk Handbook. Section 7 to 3. Clerk of Court District and Bankruptcy Courts 112. Section 7 to 4. District Court Executive 113. Section 7 to 5. Courtroom Deputy and Docket Clerk 113. Section 7 to 6. Other Law Clerks 114. Section 7 to 7. Judicial Assistants 115. Section 7 to 8. Pro se Law Clerks and Staff Attorneys 115. Section 7 to 9. Court Reporter 117. Section 7 to 10. Circuit Librarian 118. Section 711. Probation and Pretrial Services Offices 119. Section 7 to 12. Public Defenders 119. Section 7 to 13. United States Attorneys 120. Section 7 to 14. United States Marshals Service 121. Section 7 to 15. The Federal Bureau of Prisons 122. Section 7 to 16. Federal Law Enforcement Agencies 123. Section 7 to 17. State Courts 124. Appendix. Code of Conduct for Judicial Employees 125. Ix Preface. In 1977, the Federal Judicial Center published the Law Clerk Handbook, CO authored by Judge Alvin B. Rubin and Anthony DeLeo, Esq. It was substantially revised in 1989 by Judge Rubin and Laura B. Bartell, Esq. In 1994, the Center revised the handbook along with its handbook for federal judges' secretaries and combined them in one publication called the Chamber's Handbook for Judges' Law Clerks and Secretaries. Because of the unique needs of each audience, however, we have returned to the original format and prepared this edition of the Law Clerk Handbook. We are working with the Administrative Office of the U.S. Courts and an advisory group to prepare a separate handbook for judicial assistants and secretaries. This handbook provides an overview of Chambers' operations and the work of the federal courts. It does not provide detailed procedures on every aspect of a law clerk's daily tasks or review the procedures of each individual court. This is in large part because the duties of law clerks vary from judge to judge. Law clerks should become familiar with local court procedures and inquire about a local chamber's manual. More detailed information on personnel, administrative, and financial matters is in the Guide to Judiciary Policies and Procedures, published by the Administrative Office and available on the website maintained by the Administrative Office, called the JNet, on the Judiciary's intranet. Blank pages included to preserve pagination for double-sided printing. 1. Chapter 1. Introduction. Section 1-1. Function and role of law clerks. Law clerks have no statutorily defined duties. They carry out their judge's instructions. Because each judge decides cases in an individual manner and has developed work habits over the course of a professional career, no two judges use their clerks in precisely the same manner. You must become familiar with your judge's style and work cooperatively with the other members of the chamber's staff so that, as a team, you effectively assist the judge in fulfilling his or her judicial responsibilities. In most chambers, law clerks concentrate on legal research and writing. Typically, law clerks' broad range of duties includes conducting legal research, preparing bench memos, drafting orders and opinions, editing and proofreading the judge's orders and opinions, and verifying citations. Many judges discuss pending cases with their law clerks and confer with them about decisions. District court law clerks often attend conferences in chambers with attorneys. Frequently, law clerks also maintain the library, assemble documents, serve as courtroom crier, handle exhibits during trial, and perform other administrative tasks as required by the judge to ensure a smooth-running chambers. Law clerks for district court, bankruptcy court, and magistrate judges have substantially more contact with attorneys and witnesses than do their appellate court counterparts. The principal function of an appellate court law clerk is to research and write about the issues presented by an appeal, while law clerks for district, bankruptcy, and magistrate judges may be involved in the many decisions made at every stage of each case. Chapter 4, Chambers and Case Management, describes in some detail the operations of district, bankruptcy, and appellate courts. Section 1-2, Preparation and Reference Material. You should have copies of the Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure, the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, and the Federal Rules of Evidence. In addition, law clerks to bankruptcy judges will need the Bankruptcy Code and the Federal Rules of Bankruptcy Procedure, and clerks to Courts of Appeals judges should have the Federal Rules of Appellate Procedure. 2. Law Clerk Handbook. Although the judge will have these items in the court's library, a personal copy will help you become familiar with the rules. Also, study carefully the local rules of court, standing orders, and other operating procedures, and keep copies at hand. The Federal Judicial Center has numerous publications dealing with federal court operations and with specific subjects, such as copyright law, patent law, pretrial detention, employment discrimination law, and civil rights litigation. Other center publications, such as the Manual for Complex Litigation, 4th 2004, and the Benchbook for United States District Court Judges, 4th ed. March 2000, contain specific information about case management and the judicial process in trial courts. The Center has a resource page for law clerks on its site on the judiciary's intranet, http://cwn.fjc.dcn. This page can help you find publications, audiocassettes, videotapes, and web-based resources that are especially helpful to law clerks. Personal reference books will also be helpful. Law clerks should have a dictionary, a thesaurus, the current edition of the Blue Book, a uniform system of citation published by the Harvard Law Review Association and the University of Chicago Manual of Legal Citation. It is also useful to have a style book, such as the Chicago Manual of Style, published by the University of Chicago Press, Brian Garner, Garner's Modern American Usage, the Harbrace College Handbook, or the Gregg Reference Manual. Before writing your first assignment, you should read Strunk and White, The Elements of Style, and you should periodically reread it. Law clerks will benefit from taking courses in federal jurisdiction, federal civil procedure, evidence including the Federal Rules of Evidence, criminal procedure, and constitutional law. In addition, a particular court may have a large volume of litigation in a particular area, and some judges may suggest that certain courses would be especially helpful. You should also consider background reading on the judicial process. Judge Ruggiero J. Auld asserts the judicial process is a rich collection of readings and analysis. Judge Frank Coffin's The Ways of a Judge provides numerous insights into the decision-making process. Reading these works will help you more fully understand both the judge's role and yours. Section 1-2. 3. Introduction. Section 1-3. Orientation and Continuing Education. Many courts provide orientation programs for law clerks, and some courts have local educational programs for court personnel or for the bar. Ask whether your court has any such programs. Typically, a training specialist in the office of the clerk of court can explain the government-wide and judiciary-wide policies and options. Each September, the Federal Judicial Center broadcasts a series of orientation programs for new law clerks on the Federal Judicial Television Network, FJTN. The programs provide an overview of the federal court system and give instruction on ethics and legal writing and editing. The series also includes programs on employment discrimination and on bankruptcy organization and jurisdiction. As noted above, law clerks can also find helpful educational resources on the Center's site on the judiciary's intranet. You should become familiar with the details of employee benefits such as health insurance, leave policies, and other particulars, which you can find on the JNet http://jnet.aodcn, a site maintained by the Administrative Office on the court's intranet. Also, your judge may have specific policies and preferences on some matters, such as office hours and leave. Section 1 to 3.